Hi everyone, it's Susan, and today I want to take a moment to just kind of discuss with you meditating, what that means, how to get started, and some questions I just hear from people from time to time. I'm going to be the first one to let you know that I am not 100% consistent on my meditating either. So I'm just putting that out there. Don't be afraid to start because you don't think you're going to do it right or won't be consistent. The point is to start. So today I ran into, not really ran into, I was speaking to the cashier at our grocery store, and we got on the subject of meditating, and she was so concerned about being in the zone and thoughts that keep coming to her and how that's not correct and how does she stop it. And I'm like, don't worry about it, it's fine. So today what I kind of wanted to do is just give you some tips to get started. Ideally, if you really want to get into the practice of meditating, you should meditate at least once or twice a day. Um, if you really want to, be serious with it, you could go like the monks and meditate for hours a day. But I know, like myself, you probably have a lot of other things you need to do in the day, and it might not be possible to meditate for that long. So that's totally understandable. For me, I try to meditate in the evenings because I usually can get a few minutes of quiet time after the evening's events are done and the children are in bed because I do have two kids, and then I can have a little quiet me time. And for other people, it's first thing in the morning. Maybe you know, get up before the rest of your house starts, getting busy, and so whatever time works for you. Maybe it's the middle of the day. Maybe it's during your lunch break. You can leave the office and just go sit in your car somewhere really pretty. That's okay too. It doesn't matter when you do it. Just try to do it. Something that I did was to actually put my meditation appointments in my calendar, which happens to be my phone. So I would get notified, ding, it's time to meditate. And, most of the time I could stop and go ahead and meditate. There are times where I couldn't, and I'm like, okay, but, it was at least my reminder, and I know that eventually I'll get on that track. So that's some tips on when to meditate. Um, the how and like the where for me, um, right now for this video, I'm just in a plain room. I do have another area that I like to meditate in, and I kind of just put some big pillows and just some pretty things that I like. Some people like to light candles or have certain objects around them that just kind of make them happy. You could have a focal point, it could even be like just a pretty flower, a pretty picture that just puts you at peace and ease. Some people like to meditate in the sun or maybe next to some kind of water feature, so they're hearing the water. If you can get to a real live water feature like the ocean or a creek or something, even better. If you can go out in the forest and hear the trees. So if you have the ability to get someplace like that, that's awesome. But if you don't, even if you put something on the TV or computer, again, you're getting, the technology stuff, but at least it's something. Um, so once you have a time set and you kind of know where you're going to be, even if, like I said, if even it's in your car, it's just getting to a point of taking a few minutes. I suggest trying to start with at least 2 minutes. And you're probably like, oh, I can do that. Or maybe you're like, no, I can't. I tried. But if you can just even set like a timer for 2 minutes and just try that. And then get to 5 minutes and then 7 minutes and 10 minutes. And maybe eventually you'll be at 20 or 30 minutes, and that would be optimal. You can also download meditation music. We actually are going to start having some here. If you want to listen to music, and some of them will just, you can see like, okay, this is already a 2 minute meditation music, or it's already a 5 minute meditation, or whatever it is. So you just know when the music's over, you're done. But I like starting with quiet, and you may or may not like that. You might want to have like a guided meditation or at least some kind of music, and whatever works for you. Try a couple different ways. Try, something different every day till you find the one that you kind of resonate with. don't worry about something that you read or somebody told you it has to be this way. Just kind of let this be your thing and what feels right for you. So what I typically do is I get in a comfortable, I like to be seated upright is how I like to be. Sometimes I might have my legs straight out and sometimes I might have them crisscross. However you're really comfortable, I like to be touching the ground because it makes me feel grounded. So if you'd like to do that, you might want to try it. If you're on a bed or up on a chair and your feet aren't at least touching it, it might not work as well for you. And some people like to, put their fingers different ways. Again, that's up to you. This does continue energy through the body, which is nice, and it contains it and it just keeps continuously flowing. You can also put your tongue on the roof of your mouth to keep the flow of that energy, but it's not required. Some people say not to cross anything at all, and if you feel like that resonates with you, don't cross anything. It's really, until you get into just at least the practice of doing it, it's just whatever you want. So for me, like, I'm just going to now uncross my legs. I'm taking my shoes off. I have shoes on. I'm putting just my feet on the ground. And I would just take a couple deep breaths. And again, I haven't closed my eyes yet or anything. And I'm just, sometimes I like to put an intent for this particular meditation. Like maybe you've had a stressful day or you're looking for clarity on a situation. You can put that intention out there. Otherwise, if it's just intent to relax, that's fine too. So it's a few deep breaths, like deep breaths. Like you should hear yourself inhale and hear yourself exhale, and do this a few times. And then you can think about a babbling brook, you could think about the ocean, you could think about the forest, you could think about, birds chirping. A lot of times I like to see like just a blank white wall, or think about the word nothing or clear or blank or whatever, and then I quiet my mind. And as I'm quieting my mind, a thought will come through, don't forget to do this, or so and so said that today, whatever it is. And it's okay to have those thoughts, and just let them go. Acknowledge it and let it go. Another thought comes through. Oh, this weekend I have to do this, or so and so, I need to call them back. It's cool. Let it through. Let it go. Let it move on. As I continue to practice and to take my deep breaths, eventually I come to a point where my mind gets quiet. And like I said, I do this at least for a minute or two the first time, preferably to get to at least 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a really good little break of your day. Make sure you're relaxed. You can kind of count down to relax. Another thing you can do to relax is just to, I'm now relaxing my forehead and brow. I get this, like stress sometimes, so just release that. You could even, touch yourself to, just acknowledge you're going to release that. Release the jaw, and all the way down, releasing your neck, releasing your arms, your torso, your legs, just feel everything relaxing. Again, the deep breaths. You just sit there quietly. And, if you're doing like a guided meditation, they're probably going to walk you back awake. You can walk yourself back awake, kind of, give yourself a minute. I wouldn't just jump right up and start doing your next thing. I would definitely take a minute, just sit there and, acknowledge that you enjoyed your little meditation and before you move on with your day. So I hope this was helpful. I know it's a little long, but for those of you who aren't used to meditating, I think that this will kind of give you an idea of what and how you should start. And look for future meditations. I'm going to be putting together some guided meditations and some, musical ones just to kind of help you out. So I appreciate taking a few minutes with me today, and I hope you keep meditating.